President Trump looking to expand his crackdown on crime beyond the cities that he's already threatened. For the first time, the president is now floating sending troops to New Orleans before deploying them to Chicago. That move welcomed by Republican Governor Jeff Landry, while the governors of Illinois and Maryland fight to keep the military off their streets. NewsNation's Tom Dempsey has the latest from the White House. Tom, talk about a pivot here, right? I mean, what would it mean if troops are on the ground in New Orleans instead?
Hey, Markie, good morning from the White House. What makes New Orleans notable in all this is that it's the first Democrat-run city in a Republican-led state that President Trump has targeted for a possible crime crackdown. The president saying he can fix the crime problem in New Orleans.
So we're going to be going to maybe Louisiana, and you have New Orleans, which has a crime problem. We'll straighten that out in about 2 weeks. It'll take us 2 weeks, easier than D.C.
Mayor LaToya Cantrell has not fully opposed the idea of federal support for public safety, with the city saying it wants to keep its momentum with state and federal partners. But other city leaders are rejecting this idea, pointing to data like this from the police department there, showing total crime down 20%, including drops in murder and car thefts. Some leaders in Illinois also point to data from the Chicago Police Department, showing murders, shootings, and robberies all down compared to the same time last year. Governor J.B. Pritzker saying the city does not need troops on the ground.
He wants me to call him and ask him to call in National Guard to the city of Chicago. We don't want it. So that's why I'm not calling the president. I have been very clear about what we do want. What we do want is civilian law enforcement assistance.
Vice President J.D. Vance saying that the federal government has no immediate plans to send National Guard troops to Chicago, but he also criticized Governor Pritzker for not doing enough to combat crime in Chicago. Markie?
Yeah, we'll see what new developments come from today. Tom, what's the latest with the crackdown there in D.C. this morning?
Yeah, you can still find pockets of National Guard members patrolling the streets of the nation's capital here. And updated numbers from the Department of Justice show over 1,700 arrests now as part of this public safety emergency. And now the big question going around is how much longer could those National Guard forces be here in Washington, D.C.? A government source telling NewsNation that the D.C. National Guard will have their orders extended into December. That might not mean all troops deployed will be in the city until then, but it appears their presence is not going away anytime soon. And since the crackdown began almost a month ago, some interesting numbers here. D.C. has seen big drops in crime, including a 57% decline in homicides compared to the same time last year. But Markie, time is ticking right now. President Trump has until next Wednesday, I believe, September 10th, to ask the federal government for more federal control over the D.C. Police Department.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.